Apple just announced OS X Mountain Lion and it screams iPad all over it. Apple's iPad 3 to launch in just a couple of weeks, and Apple will now require your permission for apps to access your address book. Finally, all this and more coming up right now. Hello everyone, I'm Jaime Rivera and welcome to the Pocketnow iReview, the show we go through all this week's cool and the not so cool inside the world of Apple's iOS devices. Let's start this week off with the cool. Okay, so our biggest focus is not the Mac and neither is it Mac OS X, but hey, Apple's recent announcement of OS X Mountain Lion screams iPad and iPhone with iOS 5 all over it. You get Notification Center, Game Center, you get iMessage, you get reminders, you get just about everything that Apple brought to the table with iOS 5, and well, it seems that Apple's out to make the Mac look like the iPad in a way. Well, if you currently have an iPad and you need to have some hardcore computing, well, you could just buy a Mac and have the same user interface you're already used to. Kind of makes sense. Now, if you think about it, iMessage alone is compelling enough. I mean, you could pretty much text your buddies in their iPhones from your Mac, from your full keyboard. So it's currently on a beta. You can download it from the Apple website, and well, if you're a developer, you can get the full Mac OS X Mountain Lion to test as a beta and well, see what you think about it. And well, speaking of the iPad, we recently got some more leaks of what the device might look like. It looks exactly like the iPad 2, but apparently internals will change definitely. First of all, the camera seems to be a little moved. You also notice that the casing is a little thicker, and well, apparently it has more space for battery. So what could you need more battery, movement of the camera, and a thicker casing? It could probably be just an LTE iPad or probably just more resolution on the screen. Hopefully lots of things are coming for the next generation iPad, and well, we just hope that that makes our table soon. Can't wait. Speaking of the iPad 3, we got two additional rumors. First of all, one is when the device will be released. Rumors have it that it will probably happen within the first week of March or the second. March 4th or March 7th or 6th, somewhere around there. Last year it happened on March 2nd, and before that it happened by the end of January, so rumors do hold water. Now, what could we expect by this next generation iPad? Rumors have it, as we mentioned earlier, that we will be getting LTE, and hopefully we will be getting a high-resolution display, though I'm not really sure what to make of it because remember, LTE is not really that big yet, and it's not really doing well with battery life. So imagine if we do get that quad-core processor that other people have been talking about, more resolution and LTE. I don't think the battery life will ever make it to 10 hours, but let's see what Apple brings to the table. Now, other rumors have it that Apple will probably bring a 7-inch iPad, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that one. iOS 5.1 pre-Gold Master candidate apparently got leaked recently, and well, we've got, well, let's call it like two different probably significant news here. First of all, you currently have to double tap the home button on your iPhone and you get the camera icon to be able to take a picture from the lock screen. Now, the difference now will be that instead of hitting the button, you can just swipe up and it'll unlock the phone and give you the camera. Wow. And while the second one out there apparently seems to be that Siri will now speak Japanese. And I'm still waiting for it to speak Espanol. I mean, whenever that could happen, but still, Japanese is coming, and then what's happening next? I mean, are we going by population? Next would be Chinese? Okay, so that does it for the cool. Let's continue on with the not so cool. If you remember, there's been a recent scandal about the fact that, well, applications have been able to not only pull your address book from your phone, but also store it and do whatever they want with it pretty much. Not really sure what they're doing, but Apple apparently is now going to make changes finally to ask you whether you want to share your address book or not. Wonder what took them so long. And well, other rumors have it that even Google's being able to track certain things that you do with your browser. Not really cool what's happening with privacy. Let's hope that Apple takes that seriously whenever they come out with the next iOS 5.1 and just make the changes because, well, I don't really like my address book to be shared. And hey, after so many class action lawsuits over Antennagate, guess what? The lawsuits won. Apple is entitled to pay you, owners of iPhone 4s, apparently either $15 or give you a bumper if you didn't already get one last year. And that was pretty much it. That was the change. you only get either a bumper or 15 bucks. There's even a website out there that's www.iPhone4settlement.com that's supposed to go live for you to claim your bumper or your 15 bucks, but it's kind of lame. I mean, a lot of people, even me, had a lot of problems with dropped calls with the iPhone 4, and hey, we were expecting probably something else than just 15 bucks. That's it for today's show. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Jaime Rivera. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you like what you saw. That's it for now.